Welcome to the TheForge Tutorials Maya Masterclass. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the sculpting tools that are available to us inside Maya. So you can access these sculpting tools from two places. You can either go to your mesh tools and go to your sculpting tools and access your sculpting tools from here. Or you can access your sculpting tools from your shelf right here. Right now, we're going to go to our mesh tools and tear our mesh tools panel off and put it to the side. And let's create a sphere. So let's go to our polymodeling shelf and create a sphere. Let's scale it up and give it a little more resolution by going to our mesh menu and smoothing our mesh. Let's smooth our mesh by 3 iterations. When you're using sculpting on a mesh inside Maya, your mesh might require a little bit more resolution depending on how much detail you want. Right now our mesh is really dense and I'm doing this for presentation purposes only. In reality, you want to first detail your lower subdivision levels and then move up the resolution as you require. So right now select the first tool that is available to us in the sculpting panel, the Sculpt Tool. And when you select the Sculpt Tool, it's gonna give you a brush interface. And you can increase and decrease the size of the sculpting brush just as you did with the soft selection brush, just by holding the B button on your keyboard down and then clicking on your left mouse button. And by dragging it left to right, you can increase or decrease the size of your brush. So when we use the Sculpt Tool, you can see that the Sculpt Tool pulls on the surface of the object. So you can create any type of detail that you want with this brush. Let's undo that for now. Now, like every tool, the Sculpt Tool also has its own set of settings. So let's click on the box right here. And as you can see, you can control the size from here. You can also control the strength of the brush. Let's reduce the strength for now. Let's put it at 5. You can invert the brush. You can choose the direction of the brush, which means where the brush will pull towards. You can work with symmetry. You can turn that on from here or from up here. So for now, let's turn the symmetry on. You can also work with the build up. You can create a steady stroke and you can adjust or create your own fall off just as you could with the smooth selection. You can also use a graphic tablet with Maya and that will really help you in sculpting. So if you're serious about sculpting, I highly recommend investing into a graphic tablet. You can also import a stamp image, which would basically be an alpha image that you can use as your brush. Let's close this for right now and let's move on to the next brush. And the next brush is our smooth brush. So in order to show you how the smooth brush works, I'm going to create some noise here. Now as you can see, we have created some jagged edges and some distortion in the mesh. Now if we select our smooth brush, we can smooth that out. Now just like the name, the smooth brush will smooth any unevenness and pull the mesh towards an average point. Let's move on to our next tool, which is Relax. Now what the Relax tool does is, when you have a lot of edges or a lot of edge loops that are bunched together, the Relax tool will separate them. It is kind of similar to the smooth brush, but the smooth brush smooths peaks and valleys, but the Relax brush relaxes your mesh's edge flow. So if we go to a denser part of our mesh, you can see that it is relaxing the edge flow. Now below that is your grab tool, which is the same as it sounds. It grabs everything in the radius and pulls it in any direction that you want. And below that we have our pinch tool. Now the pinch tool is exactly opposite to our relax tool. The pinch tool pulls edges towards it. So if we use our pinch tool here, you can see that the pinch tool is pulling the edges towards the center of the brush. Now this side has gotten a lot messy. Let's go to the other side. Now below the pinch tool we have our flatten tool, which also does the same as it sounds. It will flatten an area. As you can see, it has flattened that area. You can also play with the strength in this brush. The more the strength, the more it will flatten. And below that you have foamy, which will inflate anything. And you have spray, repeat, imprint, wax. So there are a lot of tools in this sculpting menu and you certainly can sculpt inside Maya. But if you're serious about sculpting, you will mostly be working in softwares like Mudbox or ZBrush. So that's it for this video. This was our brief discussion about the sculpting tools that are available to us inside Maya. And as always, if you like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, drop a comment. And if you want to support me directly, link to my merch store and my Patreon is in the description down below. And I'll see you in the next video.